Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're completely stripping away the intimidation factor of generative AI. If you've been hearing everyone talk about AI lately and felt like you're just totally missing the boat, take a deep breath. You are in the exact right place. We're going to look at some really incredible data and strategies from Analytics that will literally take you from an absolute beginner to a confident, customized user. Okay, let's dive right into this. So, are you ready to unlock the ultimate digital assistant? Look, we've all been there, right? Staring at that blinking cursor in the prompt box, just wondering, what on earth am I actually supposed to say to this thing? It can feel like you need a degree in computer science just to get a decent answer. But the honest truth is, unlocking this tool is actually incredibly straightforward once you know a few basic rules of communication. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to go from getting started and mastering that basic prompt, right through customizing your tone, creating content, and even debugging code. All right, section 1, getting started. Let's actually get you onto the platform. The onboarding process is literally 4 super simple steps. First up, just access chat.openai.com on your browser or download the mobile app and sign up. Second, ask your question right there in the message box. Third, you'll get a response pop up right beneath your prompt. And fourth, and honestly, this is the key here, you interact. You don't just read it and leave. You can enter a brand new prompt, ask it to regenerate the response, copy it, share it. It's a dynamic, ongoing conversation, not just a traditional search engine. Moving on to section 2, mastering the basic prompt. This is where the magic really begins. Beginners almost always fall into the trap of typing out vague, ambiguous instructions. But you have to remember, AI is a bit like a super smart but incredibly literal intern. If you feed it vague input, you are absolutely going to get irrelevant garbage back out. It's kind of like a bad restaurant order, you know? If you just ask the waiter for food, who knows what you'll end up with? Structured, clear, and concise instructions are absolutely vital, whether you're just drafting a quick cold email or writing a massive, complex report. So, how do we actually build that structure? First, break down complex problems. This is a technique called chain of thought prompting. See, if you give the AI a massive task all at once, it kind of panics and skips steps. So break it into bite-sized, sequential pieces to get highly accurate, detailed responses. Second, feed it examples. Show the AI the exact standard you expect. Third, play around and experiment with your phrasing. Just slight variations in how you ask something can dramatically change the output you get. And finally, explicitly specify the format. If you want bullet points, a numbered list, or just a short paragraph, you literally just have to tell it. And that brings us to system-level instructions. A prompt starting with the word system guides the model's overarching behavior for the entire conversation. Think of it like giving an actor their character motivation right before they step out on stage. By setting this context early on, you make sure that AI's responses stay consistent and perfectly tailored to your needs for the whole chat. All right, section 3, customizing tone and style. Let's make this AI sound a little less robotic and a whole lot more human. You can consider this exact cheat code. Because the AI learns from interaction, you can actually train it to sound exactly like you. You just paste in a sample of your own writing and ask it. Analyze the text below for style, voice, and tone, then write a new paragraph in 100 words in the same style, voice, and tone on this topic. By doing this, you're personalizing the output so it caters perfectly to your unique communication style. It's a real game changer. On the flip side, sometimes you have text that's just overly complex or painfully dull to read. By asking the AI to change the style so it can be understood by a 12-year-old, you instantly adjust the readability. You can use this trick to make really dense, informative articles lighter, maybe a bit humorous, and significantly more engaging for a much broader reading audience. So to quickly summarize your customization toolkit, you can specify your target readers, you can explicitly define the tone, like asking for an inspiring tone, and you can even ask the AI to emulate a specific user persona. You can also use controlled generation, which is really just a fancy way of saying you give it boundaries, like telling it to use simple language or keep the answer short. Combine all these together, and you have hyper-personalized output. Section 4, creating and editing content. Let's put these rules to work on some actual real-world creative tasks. We have literally all suffered from blank page syndrome, when you're just completely out of ideas for a newsletter or a social media post. Asking the AI to brainstorm or suggest 10 ideas for whatever your objective is quickly becomes your best friend. Because it can browse and pull from trending topics, it instantly helps you think outside the box and delivers really fresh, exciting ideas to capture your audience's attention. And once you've got those ideas, and maybe a rough draft, the AI becomes your personal editor. You can prompt it to edit your text and make it more engaging for a specific platform, whether that's a blog, a social media post, or even your resume. The AI will give you instant feedback on your structure, your grammar, and your tone, refining your work to make it far more effective before you ever even hit publish. But hey, let's be real for a second. What happens if the output is just wrong or totally unsatisfactory? Honestly, this is the single most common beginner frustration. You ask a question and the AI spits out something that completely misses the mark. Please know this is a totally normal part of the process. When you get a bad output, you don't just give up, you iterate. First, iterate on your prompt to make your instructions much more explicit. Next, provide any additional context you might have left out the first time around. And finally, just try rephrasing the query. Refining your prompts through this kind of iterative process is exactly how you train the AI to give you the result you actually want. Finally, Section 5, Writing and Debugging Code. Yep, your very own personal programming assistant. Now, if you are an absolute beginner to coding, do not panic. ChatGPT isn't just for writing essays. It's a highly effective personal programming assistant. A lot of professionals use it to generate code from scratch, sure, but where it really shines for beginners is helping you figure out exactly why the code you do have just isn't working. If your program is broken, it's actually a super simple fix. You literally just paste in your code and say, here's the code snippet. When I run it, it gives this error. Rewrite the code to make it bug-free. It is that specific, and it's that easy. It completely takes the panic out of programming and turns debugging into a simple conversation. Okay, let's wrap up our journey today. To go from zero to hero, just remember these golden rules. Clear and concise instructions are absolutely crucial. Always break down complex tasks using chain of thought so the AI doesn't skip important steps. Never be afraid to iterate and refine those prompts when the output isn't quite right. And finally, use specific instructions to customize the tone and style so the AI works for you, sounding exactly the way you need it to. We've covered the techniques, the iterations, and the cheat codes. You now know exactly how to unlock the full potential of this amazing technology. So you know the prompts. What are you going to build first? Dive in, start experimenting, and have fun with it.